Hey guys, welcome back to Monday Gunday. This is episode 14. Today we have the Archon Firearms Type B Gen 2. This is a pretty neat gun. I'm sure you guys are a little bit familiar with it. The original generation's been around for a while, and before that there were some other variations of very similar firearms like the Strike 1. That was kind of the first version of this style of striker fired 9mm pistol. That came out in 2012 to 2014, somewhere in that range. And that was one of the first guns to incorporate this speed lock technology. Now what that is how the barrel moves in the slide and frame of this gun. It eliminates the barrel tilt that you see a lot of striker fired pistols have, where when the slide reciprocates, the barrel kind of unlocks and tilts up and then goes back into place as the slide goes back into battery. This eliminates that, so all it does is moves back just a couple millimeters, and supposedly there are some good advantages to that, such as improved accuracy, a little bit reduced recoil, and just overall better feel of the gun. This also was one of the first pistols coming after the Strike 1 to utilize an extremely low bore axis. If you look at this as a very, very low bore axis, and I believe Archon claims that theirs is around 12 millimeters. And so that seems like it is quite a bit lower than pretty much any other 9mm striker fired pistol on the market today. So that is another good selling point, another benefit to this style of firearm. So we'll take it out to the range and see if we can feel any differences there. But I imagine it will be pretty pleasant to shoot, should be. So we have the standard model, the Type B. The size, it's roughly in between like a Glock 19 and a Glock 17 size. It's kind of like more on the compact end of that, but it feels good in your hands. One new thing that the Gen 2 comes with is this different grip texture, and everything's modular and adjustable. You can change out the back straps, you can add a grip extension to make the grip a little more of a full-size grip. It comes with their standard kind of compact magazine, which says it's 15 rounders, but it's actually can take 16 rounds, which is pretty awesome. And if you add the little grip extension, drops it down another ½ inch or so, and they provide you with a larger full-size magazine as well. That says 17 rounds, but you can actually fit 19 rounds in there, so that is even cooler. So you can get a lot of rounds, and depending on your hand size and your preferences, if you like to carry a smaller gun or smaller setup, you can make the grip smaller. If you want something bigger, you can make it bigger. So that is really cool. Another thing that this Gen 2 model comes with that wasn't previously available is different textures you can get from the factory. This one is a pretty smooth, not too sticky or aggressive texture. This one would probably be nice to carry. Wouldn't probably aggravate your skin if you're concealing it. You can also get this optic cut. This one is not optic cut, which is kind of lame, but you can in the future get these optic cut. That will be either for the shield footprint, the shield sights footprint, or the acro. I'm not sure if they're going to be doing any other ones. I think they should definitely consider some other footprints, like maybe the RMR or Delta Point Pro, things that are a little bit more common, but that is their choice, and that I believe is an option available through Rain 6. And while we're talking about Rain 6, huge shout out to Rain 6 and Iron Horse Distributing for letting us get our hands on the Type B Gen 2. Let us review it and play around with it for a little bit. So thank you guys. These will also in the future come with an option for a threaded barrel, as well as I believe suppressor height sights. So like a full suppressor ready system. I believe on their website I saw they had different kind of packages you can add on when you're ordering your Type B. So that's cool. A lot of different options. This one is their stock just stock version. And the cost, MSRP is around $999. I've seen them at $960, so kind of in that 1,000-ish range, give or take 50 bucks maybe. So not super cheap. They come with 2 magazines, and they come with the extra grip pieces to extend it or to adjust the grip as desired. So not a whole lot, but those are some cool modular things. So it's kind of a give and take. You only get 2 mags, but there are some cool things there. So about $1,000 bucks. The height of this pistol in this configuration is 5.2 inches. It comes with a 4.3 inch barrel. The overall length is 7.7 inches. The width is 1.4 inches, and the capacity is 16 plus 1 in the compact configuration, or 19 plus 1 in the full-size configuration. So let's see how this thing shoots. Let's take it to the range and run our 3 standard drills and see how it performs. Okay, we made it out to the range to run our 3 drills on the Archon Type B Gen 2. You'll notice I have the X300 on the front of here. That is because we'll run it out of the MSP Pro Series Flex holster. We have holster options in the standard Aegis, the Zyphos V2, the T1M, and the Axis Slim holsters. And we have one of those holsters, but we left it at the office. So we're using what we got. We'll run the bill drill back to back on the A zone at 7 yards. Then we'll run a 3, reload 3 back to back in the A zone at 7 yards. Then we will run a 10-yard B8. No time limit on that, just for score. 10 rounds, 10 points possible each for each round. So 100 total points. You know the drill. So let's take it back to 7 and start off with these bill drills. 7 yards at this cone. Let's see how this goes. Timer ready. All right. It's a little cold today. You'll notice some snow on the ground. And I am also cold. Okay, stand by. Well, that was a very, very, very slow 279. Had a big hang up there on the trigger. So hopefully these next rounds I can feel my fingers, but it was clean. That was my bad. Are you ready? I think so. Stand by. Okay, that was a little better, a 231, clean. So in that bill drill, we're kind of looking for recoil control, ergonomics, tracking those sights through recoil, things like that. And overall, I would say this is a fairly easy gun to shoot. That front sight is super easy to track. Not a ton of recoil, and obviously it's just a 9mm, but some guns tend to be a little snappier than others, so that wasn't bad. I attribute those slow times a little bit to the cold and the conditions, and just general lack of practice with this particular platform. But regardless, we'll move on to the 3, reload 3, and there we will be checking the gun to see if it goes to slide lock, looking at the reload, the slide release, or the slide stop lever, whatever you want to call it, and again, recoil management. So I think I'm set up for this one, so let's try it out. Stand by. Okay, not too bad. That was clean. Time was a 4:60. Considering there's no mag wall on this gun, I think it's acceptable, I guess. You could obviously speed it up, refine some things. I I probably spent the most time regaining my second sight picture after that first magazine. So we'll see if we can clean it up just a hair. Stand by. I blew it on that one. I fumbled the reload. 479. You probably could have saved half a second had I not gotten hung up in my hoodie. It's just one of those things. If you're gonna wear a hoodie, practice it, dry fire, you know. And it looks like I might have thrown one out, just barely. High right. Oh, might be a line breaker. That is very close. We'll let you decide in the comments. I think it's out, but anyways, considering no magwell on that, getting the magazine inserted is, it's not too bad. And it's like the compact grip setup, so my big hands are covering up a lot of that. So all things considered, not too bad. Slide stop lever, super easy to hit to send that slide home, and pretty decent. So we'll put up a B8 test accuracy, test the trigger and the sights. So okay, 30 feet, 10 yards, B8 going for the X ring or the 10 ring. Oh, felt good. I think those were all in. Surprisingly, I really like these sights. I don't know why that's surprising. It's not surprising, but all very much within the 10 ring, not even a line break on the 10. So happy with that. I said it in the bill drill, but I'll say it again. That front sight is awesome. Super easy to see, to track, to line up in that rear notch. They're very simple sights, and I like that. Fiber optic, nothing's too big, so good. And the trigger's nice. I like the shape of it and everything. There's a little bit of like gush in there, you know, a little bit of something going on, but it's good. I'd say it's good. So let's take it back to the armory, and we will tally up the scores and give you guys a score. Okay, we're back in the armory. After shooting this gun, I thought this thing was pretty cool overall. Some things, some good things, some bad things, just like with any gun we review. So let's get started off with our first category. Out of 10 points, we have 10 categories. Perfect score would be 100, just like the B8 drill we run. First off is cost. I gave this gun a score of a 7 for cost. It is pretty expensive, but I think it is, you get a lot of cool things with it. It's got a lot of cool features that I like, and the modularity is pretty neat. Biggest drawback is it doesn't come with a whole lot, and you don't get a lot of options as far as like sights and optics and things like that go. So, you know, kind of give and take there. So score of a 7. Next up we have ergonomics, and this was another difficult category for me to score. I ended up giving it a 7 as well. There are a lot of good things I like about this. I think it feels really good. The full grip configuration feels better, but as far as like a compact size, I think this feels really nice. The only issue I had was getting real high and tight up there in the beaver tail. I thought just the shapes here and the edges were pretty uncomfortable for my hand in the shooting position that I got it in, especially longer strings of fire and really trying to grip down on that. I felt that it was a little uncomfortable. They do market this, I don't know if you can see, there's kind of a ridge right here. They do market that as kind of a grip enhancer. where this is supposed to kind of press into the tendon and the webbing of your hand and kind of cause your grip to close a little bit. So it gives you a little bit added strength, you know, between your thumb and the rest of your fingers to kind of grip up there in the beaver tail. Whether that works or not, I don't know. I just didn't think it was very comfortable. So, but you know, all the other ergonomics, the magazine release, the slide stop lever, the trigger, the serrations, it all worked well for me. So overall pretty good. Next up, we have the trigger. Again, this is getting a score of a 7. I thought it was a good trigger, not the best. Hopefully the trigger jobs that will be available from Reign 6 will be able to lighten it and kind of smooth out some of the stuff in there. It's got a good wall, but there's a lot of kind of creep. Reset's still pretty short though, but it could definitely be improved. Shooting the B8, I found that it was overall a pretty good trigger. I liked it, so that's why it's getting that score. They claim about a 5-pound trigger pull, so pretty average. Next up, we have bore axis, and this is getting a score of a 10. I think if any gun category gets a score of a 10, it should be this one with bore axis, because it's about as low as you can get. I don't know if we will ever see a handgun, at least in the near future, that beats it. Maybe the Strike 1, maybe not. Maybe the Lago Alien, but I don't know if we'll be able to review either of those. But this one's, that's about as good as it can get, so that's cool. They claim a 12mm bore axis, I believe. Sights. So these are sights that I am a big fan of. I like a blacked out rear, something simple with a good notch, and a fiber optic front sight. These prove to work really well, even in the fast strings of fire like the Bill Drill and the 3R3. Super easy to track, and they prove to be very accurate point of aim, point of impact at 10 yards on the B8. And that one was an easy, perfect score to shoot with this gun. So big fan of the sights. I gave that a score of an 8. Aftermarket support is our next category, and this is kind of where the overall score kind of drops down a little bit. This one's getting a 5 because there's really not a whole lot out there. You can get magazine base pads and things like that, but besides that, there's not a ton available for it. We do make holsters. That's about it. You don't see many companies coming out with triggers or mag wells or barrels or different things for this gun. It's just not very popular, so fortunately it's only getting a score of 5. And we used the MSP Pro Series Flex holster. We just threw a light on there, but we do make non-light bearing holsters specifically for the Type B. It fits both the Gen 1 and the Gen 2. So check out our Axis Slim or our standard Aegis or the Xiphos V2 or the T1M. One of those holsters, we will have options for it. Next up is round capacity. This one scores well as well. Gets a 9. So in the compact configuration, you can throw 16 in there plus 1. That's better than almost any other compact handgun out there. And in the full-size configuration, you can throw 19 plus 1 in there, which is, again, it's not even extended. So that is better than most full-size guns out there. So that is really awesome. Super surprised by that. Serviceability is next, also getting a score of a 5. It kind of goes along with aftermarket support. It's easy to take down, but if you need extra parts or if something breaks, it's going to be more difficult to find and get your hands on. But the slide, it's easy to pull out. All you have to do is push this pin out and the slide just pops off like a normal striker fired pistol. Pretty simple. Next up, we have value. So this goes along with price and kind of what you get with the gun in the box. This is the box. It's just a basic hard case. Nothing special there. You know, you get your cool gun lock and then your extra grip pieces. And besides that, just 2 mags and the gun. So not a whole lot there. Kind of lacking in value in my opinion. It gets a score of a 6. And last category is cool factor. I gave this one an 8. This is a very subjective score, by the way. A lot of these things are subjective, and that's okay. Let us know in the comments section what you guys would score this gun at. But this is our score. This is just kind of what we think, and hopefully this information is useful to you. I think this is a cool gun overall. I think it looks cool. I think the trigger looks really cool. It's got a good design. I like this little cutout in the slide. And it's modular, a lot of cool things. Big drawbacks here are optics system and kind of the aftermarket support kind of kills it for me. And then this beaver tail. But I think the good outweighs the bad, in my opinion. And hopefully it just gets better. I was pleasantly surprised by the opening of there's kind of like a built-in magwell here. So the reloads, even though it's not like a big flared magwell, reloads were pretty simple and easy. It's a very, very smooth kind of ramp into there. So overall, cool gun. Total score, this one's getting a 72 out of 100. So I believe that kind of puts it middle of the pack. We've done 14 guns now, and I think this one is maybe like in the top half, kind of towards the middle of the pack. So we'll put that list up here or somewhere. As always, guys, thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Be sure to like and subscribe and tell your friends about our channel. And as always, stay safe, stay strapped. We'll catch you next time.